"Tell me one last thing," said Harry. "Is this real, or has this been happening inside my head?" Dumbledore beamed at him, and his voice sounded loud and strong in Harry's ears, even though the bright mist was descending again, obscuring his figure. "Of course it is happening inside your head, Harry. But why on earth should that mean that it is not real?" Dear Harry Potter, here we are, the day before the last midnight before I see the last Harry Potter film and lose myself once more in your adventures. I was 12 when I first met you. We could have been classmates. I'll never forget the first time I cracked the spine of Sorcerer's Stone and became invested in the boy who lived and his struggle against he who must not be named. There were arguments among myself and my friends. Some thought it was stupid to be reading a book like that, only to catch on later and forget they'd ever said such a thing, while others debated on how to pronounce Hermione. 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 The movies helped with that. Growing up, I had all kinds of changing obsessions, but Harry Potter was a constant from middle school on. That remained unchanged. I read the first 3 books during 7th grade, a time when I was meeting new people, exploring new avenues for my future endeavors. Reading had suddenly become this great new distraction from school bullies and broken friendships, and feeling like I'd never entirely fit in anywhere. I was growing up and changing, and so were you. In high school, things started to slow down, and I found a group of friends who shared my interests, including your stories. A long time had passed since we'd last had one of your books, so we were eagerly awaiting the Order of the Phoenix. All of a sudden, I felt like that younger me again, experiencing the magic all over again. I fell in love with Luna Lovegood, and was glad that you had a new friend who could empathize with you, just like the friends I had found. I mourned the loss of Sirius with you. I hated Dolores Umbridge with you, as all high schoolers feel that intense loathing of an evil teacher. The summer before my junior year of college, my mom handed me Deathly Hallows. I kept it in school with me, but I didn't want to read it. As a new English major, I had a lot of coursework and a lot of credits to gain. And I didn't want the stories to end. I didn't want to know what happened, because then it would have happened and it would be over. So forgive me, your final story stayed on my shelf, untouched. It stayed untouched, but it was also the only copy of your books that I ever had with me at college. Finally, my senior year, when I was about ready to graduate, I cracked open the spine and read, and cried. I could not believe all the people who died. I must admit that when I finished it, I didn't entirely know how to feel. There was an emptiness. All was well? I always did have that flair for the dramatic. I donned a cap and gown and grabbed that piece of folded-up paper made to look like a diploma, and I was suddenly a college graduate. Among the many interests I had picked up in college, I had become a YouTube addict, all thanks to 5 girls who were, and are, rather awesome. They reintroduced me to you in ways I'd never taken the time to appreciate, and they opened the door to Nerdfighteria, wherein I met John and Hank Green. The world will never be the same. Because of them, I felt that 12-year-old excitement rekindled and knew that no matter what, if I became the next brilliant screenwriter or a mother scribbling stories into a notebook while her child sleeps, I would always be a nerdfighter, and a proud one. So if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here on YouTube. I probably would not have my best friend, and my bookshelves would have a giant hole, left unfilled by you or John Green. I recently decided to find all of the books in your series and reread them in time for this final movie, and I realize now the meaning of your last words on the last page of that last book. All will be well, for you have created a beautiful place to be with friends, and for that I tip my hat in thanks. In sincere gratitude, Sara H without an H. You have created a generation, Joe. Let this book serve as proof. I recommend this. I read the first introduction, and I was already crying. I will be seeing the movie at midnight tomorrow, technically Friday, and I will be letting you know how that goes. I'm sure that many tears will be shed, and all will be well.